again, JayStar going to take the weapons 1 over Carapace 1 advantage. More Corsairs pushing out to do some more damage against the Overlords. Maybe seeing this transition because Machine didn't want to get... he knows he's lost air control, at least air-to-air, because Corsair's so damaging, didn't want to end up losing more units than that. So now Corsair Hydralisk combination going up here, and the Corsair is being a little bit brave there, running through. Going to just try to outmaneuver these Hydralisks. Hydralisks not staying at home base. Scourge able to run and take out another Corsair, so a couple free hits here from Machine, and the Mulisks trying to push around, get free hits where they can, but not able to. Third base has been established from JayStar, so JayStar in a pretty strong economic position, and it looks like a couple Overlords kind of wandering out in the field are going to bunch up and need to stay under that protective range of the Hydralisks. We'll see if Machine decides to push up a combo attack here, Hydralisks and Mutalisks alongside with the Overlords. He's got a lot of Mutalisks alongside. Looks like the Corsair is going to take their opportunity to run in. They aren't Weapon 1 upgraded, but they're still in mass, do a lot of damage, and able to get a couple Overlord kills here and there. But we'll see if Machine decides to push up an attack with the combination of units he has right here. He could have some success with it. The Mutalisks to take care of the Zealots, and the Hydralisks to take care of basically everything else. Looks like Machine also is kind of scouting out that 6 o'clock location, maybe thinking about taking it for his own. Looks like that Dark Templar wandering down there, going to be able, going to take that Overlord out. So at least he's going to see that their Dark Templar out in the field. So Machine, he does have speed upgraded Overlords, so those Dark Templar are not going to be as effective as they would be otherwise. So for example, right here, only a single Overlord though in there, so needs to be careful. Mutalisks running down here and might be able to get able to take out one Dark Templar, and 2 more Overlords still in position. So Machine running back. He was able to take both Dark Templar out, and it looks like the rest of these Corsairs, just 3 Corsairs left out of that full grouping. But JayStar doesn't mind playing this kind of ring around the rosy, running around, just kind of leading Machine's units across the map, as long as Machine isn't massing up, taking additional expansions. And he, in the meantime, sorry about that little fidget there on the screen, is able to get additional expansion. He's just massing up. Looks like another Corsair down. So sacrificing just a couple units, specifically Corsairs, Machine starting to mass up, but you can tell the kind of the supply difference, about 88 to 105. JayStar still keeping up economically otherwise, and the Corsair still able to run up and get a good visualization as what's going up in the back of the base. 2 Evolution Chambers down, Carapace 1 now coming up online, Weapons 1, and it looks like JayStar once again going to be ahead. He's got that Weapons 1, and it looks like Weapons 2 almost 1/3 finished. So Overlord again checking out that 12 o'clock location. Looks like another Overlord still knows that secondary's up. We'll see if he checks that upper left-hand base. And again, I'm kind of curious why he's playing a little bit more passively at this stage. Maybe again because he's because of the first game, some Dragoons running up, making a little bit of a posturing situation, thinking out maybe taking that upper left-hand base. 4 Dragoons running up there. They're going to be able to take this Overlord out to clear that. A lot of Zealots setting up there as well. So it looks like JayStar is posturing, in fact, to take that expansion in the upper left-hand corner. Overlord is going to be able to back up. Dragoon's not very fast on the ground. And again, I think the Corsairs have been taken care of at this stage. 6 o'clock position, Machine's going to take it. He might go for the 12 o'clock position as well. But at the very least, I don't think he can play passively at this stage. I think he needs to run up and inflict some damage. And he might be able to do that with these Lurkers. It looks like he is going to try to play a little bit more of a contain game across the middle of the map once again. Yeah, I don't think he can just kind of sit on the... and try to play the economic game and out-macro at this stage. Because I think JayStar is already ahead of him. Because he took that mineral only before Machine had that expansion in the bottom right hand corner. So Dragoons looks like level 1 weapons, level 1 armor, and Machine setting up for kind of a contain, maybe going to tech up at the same time. It looks like he's already got Hive Tech working this way, so I guess he's going to wait for the later game tech, some Ultralisks, some Defilers before he really pushes, and that could be again a factor from game 1, and once again going to the red. 146, so JayStar actually in a very good position macroeconomically here. Machine, again, not showing as good as macro as I'm used to him seeing overall in the series of games. A good lurker configuration here, very well spaced to avoid the storms, playing a little bit of map control, and it looks like he wants to establish yet another gas, maybe transfer some drones out there, and just kind of own this half of the map that he's got for a bit, and then try to, again, march over JayStar once he's got the Ultralisks up towards the late game. JayStar, I don't think he's going to be content to sit back and let Machine do that and try to take advantage that way. He's got the level 2 weapons, so he's probably thinking about pushing right now. Still level 0 Carapace and level 1 Spines, not even close to being up online. So that level 2 weapons, the level 1 armor, a big boon. So not only having a superior unit count, but also having more highly upgraded units. Lurker's going to be fairly well cleaned up with between these Dragoons and these Zealots. They are going to have the 1/3 mischance alongside some. It's a pretty sizable engagement. Machine pulling back because he didn't want to get Psystorm like he did right there. Still able to push in. A lot of Psystorms going off. They're not going to be all that great. Nice Psystorm there to take out a lot of the Hydralisks. But once again, again, we're going to see the when it becomes down to these just actually some speed upgraded zealots coming up alongside. I thought that was going to be the extent of that attack. Let's see if they can take that observer out. Able to pick the observer out, so that's going to assist alongside, and that's going to force JayStar to back off. And not because he can't just run over the lurkers willy-nilly. Second observer coming up, though, and it looks like the Hydralisks have backed off to the 6 o'clock, so going to be able to continue to run over this. And right now, I don't think Machine has enough to defend the 6 o'clock locations, let alone his other holdings. We'll have to see once the reinforcements come through, though. That observer still wandering through. Looks like it's been damaged a little bit, but not really enough. A couple overlords getting taken out as well. And right now, the supply counts 132 versus 101. And again, still more highly upgraded units, including that scary Archon running up towards the secondary. A lot of lurkers. Wow, that's a lot of lurkers from Machine trying to push up. And again, it looks like he wants to getting a pretty good surround here. So going to get a couple kills, not just a couple, maybe a lot of additional kills, trying to run up and bring some support to that 6 o'clock and burrow those lurkers alongside. And fortunately, looks like JayStar is going to turn around. Psystorm taking out 2 of the lurkers right there. Hydralisks in configuration, not able to pick off the observers though. So, and that's really key, because then these lurkers can't rely on their natural shield of invisibility, and the Zealot's still going to be able to push into that 6 o'clock. So Zealot's swinging back around. That Templar are probably going to get picked off. It does have another Psystorm in it. These Dragoons also probably going to get picked off. Some Zerglings being produced on the spot to try to just create a little bit of delay for the rest of the reinforcements to pour in. These drones, let's see, they have nowhere to run really. More Zerglings are trying to pour in. That Templar is going to get picked off though. It looks like that Dragoon also going to get picked off, but this is just creating more delay space. A lot of these drones getting picked off. 12 o'clock locations going up in the meantime, right under Machine's nose. He's got, quite literally under his nose, he's got the overlords. That's the Zerg's nose right there. It's kind of mobile and active. And the Zealot and the Zerglings actually just kind of waiting and watching the Zealots attack their hatchery. It's like, hey, sup guys. Now deciding to attack, but Zerglings against much more highly upgraded Zealots. You can see the difference just working through, pounding through. It's almost like watching a kind of puny nerd guy go up against one of those buff jocks. It's just kind of sad. So where Machine thought he could rely on that number of Zerglings to kind of power through those Zealots, not able to do so because they just have the level 1 weapons on level 1 armor versus the level 1 weapon, level 1 shield, level 2 weapons, level 2 armor Zealots. Very, very highly upgraded Zealots on the opposite end for JayStar, so JayStar can get a lot more done. And it looks like that level 1 shield actually going to help those cannons as well at that 12 o'clock. And again, this is a hard base to hold. Honestly, I'm not sure Machine's even going to be able to hold against the second wave. He's trying to get a Sultan colony up now. He does have Ultralisk tech up, so Ultralisks would definitely help. I don't see any Ultralisks out in the field at the moment, though. And there's still some lurkers here. I think he's expended a lot of his gas on lurkers. Trying to plant some lurkers here. He doesn't have any anti-air to get rid of those obs again. And those Zealots just powering down, and some Psystorm pushing up as well. Going to catch some of the drones in the Psystorm alongside some Zerglings able to push up on the Dragoons. Might get a kill, but it's not going to be enough. Machine losing this 6 o'clock, and this is absolutely key. Losing this 6 o'clock, going to be starved of gas overall, and it looks like, and that's going to keep those Ultralisks from really being produced. We'll see if additional upgrades are being produced alongside. Looks like the Ultralisk upgrades are coming, but just now the Ultralisk starting to wander out. A little bit of a Psystorm to soften these guys up. A couple Scourge in the air to keep, gonna get one hit, able to get a second hit, able to take a Corsair out actually, but not enough to stop that 6 o'clock location from going down. And Archons with level 3 weapons. That should be the title of the horror movie. Archons with level 3 weapons, and with that level 1 shield, that's even worse. So a couple of lists gathering up, but Machine falling behind economically once again. That's been kind of the story of the games he's been. It's got to be frustrating for him. A lot of hatcheries going down, and you can see the difference between the supply counts here. 187 versus 176 is just getting completely out-macroed at this stage. He does not have the bases to keep up against JayStar, and once he loses these Ultralisks, he's going to have to GG. So probably seeing a GG right here. Yeah, so Machine losing to JayStar as well, so having a tough day, I would say. Move on to the next game. Hope you guys enjoyed that, and yeah, I got a good taste of JayStar there. Thanks for listening.